All right, Alan, thank you so much for that comprehensive update. We now cross over to Nyeri County and link up with our reporter Clement Masombo. Good morning to you, Clement. It was business as usual in Nyeri County and other parts in the mountain when Azimio supporters took to the streets yesterday to demonstrate against the government. Maybe what are the leaders saying? Because yesterday we witnessed ugly scenes right in Nairobi and other parts of the country where property was destroyed, people were injured, and others lost their lives.
Well, very good morning to you, Purity. Indeed, just like we reported yesterday that everything was flowing smoothly in Nyeri and in most parts of this central Kenya region, except for the transport sector that was affected because most of those owners of matatus that ply the Nairobi route were feeling afraid of actually sending their vehicles to Nairobi for the fear of them being caught up in the center of the demonstrations that were happening. And it is for that same reason that I want to speak to the Nyeri Town Member of Parliament, Duncan Maina Madhenge, to get his view on whatever happened yesterday. We saw the demonstrations, yes, as they had been called by the opposition leader, Raila Odinga, as well as the destruction of property. We also invasion into private properties, and that is why I want to get views from the Nyeri Town Member of Parliament. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa, for joining us live on KTN News. Whatever happened yesterday, as a leader from this central Kenya, what's your take?
Thank you. What happened yesterday was a sad day for this country. No country should run this way, and especially more so our country, Kenya. We have been nearly down this path in 2007, which is a short 16 years ago. I hope every peace-loving Kenyan and every Kenyan who loves their country, and even every young man and woman who ever hopes that this country can develop economically to enable them to become contributors to the economy of this country through setting up their own enterprises, through employment by investors in the industrial sector and in the manufacturing sector. This is not the way to take, this is not the route to take our country. And I'm appealing to all of us in leadership, in the different shades of leadership as it comes, that it is time for our conscience to wake up and for each one of us to re-examine themselves, call themselves individually to a meeting and ask whether this is the way that our country should run, whether this is the direction that we wish this country to go to. I have agonized since yesterday when I saw the photos of the destruction and mayhem that we are inviting into our country. It is not desirable. It is not wanted. It is not the route to go. I am calling on all of us to re-examine our conscience.
And maybe aside from appealing for examination of conscience from leaders from both sides, the opposition and those in government, maybe as you, as leaders who are now in position, maybe what are you going to do about this?
Now, this thing has to come to an end. This has to stop. This competition has to come to an end. Once we come from voting, we must chart a clear path for when to close the electoral contest in this country. We must come up firmly and close the door on electoral competition because it is detrimental to our country. And it cannot be that anytime you lose the presidential vote, that you force people to go into a handshake. The presidential vote is not the only election in this country. Why aren't we having the same contest in the counties where governors, senators, and women reps were elected in the same election? Why are we not having the same contest in the constituencies where MPs were elected? Why are we not having the same contest in the wards, county wards, where elections are contested? It is time that we all accept that there can only be two outcomes in an election. You either win or you lose. And if you lose, it is incumbent upon you with humility to accept the defeat and continue engaging Kenyans, hoping that next time round, 5 years down the line, you can get back on the ballot and possibly become a victor. I have been in the contest at the parliamentary seat 3 times in the past. I only got successful at my 4th attempt. In the 3 times, despite having tangible reasons, I have never even contested the results of the elections. Even when there was blatant leaking in 2013, I never went to the petition because I knew the system that existed in our country in far as electoral justice is concerned. I wish the proponents of Maandamano were pushing us as parliamentarians to tighten the laws so that the gaps that allow manipulation of elections to happen historically, now and in the future, can all be closed. Going to the streets can only result in destruction. Who is this leader who wants to lead a country that first they have ruined before they can ascend to leadership? I heard people claim that 2022 was a Mandela moment. I'm asking myself, would Nelson Mandela lead the people of South Africa into destruction so that he could ascend to power? It is only those people who are inborn dictators who will destroy their country in an attempt to get into leadership. It is time for this madness to end.
Okay. Thank you so much. Of course, that is Mheshimiwa Duncan Maina Madengo, of course, saying that it is high time this madness, as he puts it, should stop. And of course, speaking about the destruction of property, that is what we witnessed yesterday. A lot was destroyed. We are talking about invasion into private property. Businesses stopped, and some of businesses were looted. But we shall also be seeking opinions from other leaders from this central Kenya on what exactly they think about what happened yesterday and where we are headed as a nation. But that's all from now from Nyeri County. For now, Purity, I hand it over to you.
All right, Clement, thank you so much for that incisive discussion right there from Nyeri County.